People, share this video. Let other people have this. Don't keep this to yourself. Ask questions, people. Ask yourself questions. What are we being fed? What damned lies are we being fed? So the mask works so well that the whole world has to wear one. But if the mask works, then we should be safe to go and visit somebody in hospital. We should be safe around each other. If you are petrified of me, wear your mask. Submit like a sheep and wear your mask if you are scared. Because if you're wearing your mask, you're going to be safe. I can't harm you because that damn thing is going to save you. Yeah, that's going to save you. Guys, let me tell you, I'm an ex-soldier. I trained in nuclear biochemical warfare. You haven't seen what equipment, what level of equipment you need to protect you from a viral infection or from a chemical agent, which is what this is, from an aerosol agent. We are masked up with heavy respirators, totally airtight. And you can't wear that for more than an hour or two because you're so exhausted. You can barely breathe. You have to be extremely fit. That's why only soldiers wear them. The average person wouldn't last more than an hour, probably half an hour, and you would be panicking for breath. Listen to Professor Carhill. There you go. Says listen to Professor Dolores Carhill. She's one of the top virologists in the world. One of the top virologists in the world. And they are defaming her because what they've done is they've struck her off or something like that. Why? Because she's speaking up. She's saying the whole thing is planned. She's telling us how viruses really work. No app. Do not do the trace and track. Do not volunteer your names. Yeah, you are not slaves. You are not puppets. You are sovereign, independent people. And you have human rights. This is a free country. People died. We're told millions of our forefathers died in World War I and II. Almost every one of us here have got people who fought in the two great wars. And they died, apparently, for our freedoms. So when you submit your freedoms to tyrants, you are doing this to the people who died in the two great wars. You're telling them to fuck off. And that their deaths were in vain. Hannah says, we have heard an old person died in a care home and they were told to put COVID on the death certificate. He actually died from a peanut allergy. I've read that. People have committed suicide and they've been listed as COVID deaths. These things get leaked and reported, yet people are still blind and they don't, unless the news, what has to happen? Does it have to go onto the BBC for you to believe it? Does it have to be reported to them? If it's not, I know what's going on. If it's not reported on the BBC, you're not going to believe it. If I tell you, you're not going to believe me. Yeah, if a doctor or a scientist tell you and it's not reported on a major news channel, I know you don't believe it. It's not a reliable source. We've heard that one, the reliable source. Huffington Post is your reliable source. Fact-checking websites. Funded, the top 20 fact-checking websites are all owned and funded by Bill Gates. That's your reliable source. Fuck that. Zishans, once a vaccine is created and firms win the contracts, they'll stop talking about COVID like it's a bogey. They will do. The vaccine is going to be so profitable. Vaccines are taking anything up to 15 years to produce. How do they produce a vaccine in 12 months? They're not testing it on anyone. There's no trials, no nothing. Are you going to submit your family through these tests and through these vaccines? Why would you do that? People, share this video. Let other people have this. Don't keep this to yourself. Indeed, empty hospitals label every death as COVID during the peak. Now it's cases. In the beginning, we were fed how many deaths. Deaths. Now we don't hear deaths. Why? Because there are no deaths. They're virtually non-existent. Now it's cases. Where do all these cases come from? From all the bogus testing that's going on. All the bogus bullshit tests. You know that long stick that they stick up your nose? Why don't they take a swab from your mouth like they normally do? This has never happened before. Taking a long stick like this, and it goes all the way through there to the back to your brain. I would not trust that stick, because I don't know what it's contaminated with. If you want to trust it, be my guest. I don't want to trust it. But don't impose your nonsense on me. If you want to wear a mask, be my guest.